And we're coming to you live from the traveling Built Ford Tough studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio. You're turning my headset down, not his, on the Fan and CBS Sports Network. And wherever you are, the free Odyssey app. Good Monday morning. We are live from Glen Oaks Country Club. It is the 32nd year of the Boomer Esiason Foundation golf outing, and you've raised a ton of money, and we know what that money has turned into. Amazing things for those dealing with cystic fibrosis. We'll talk more about that, what this outing means as the morning goes on. But I remember on Friday you said to me, man, we don't normally have these feel-good Fridays in New York sports. The Yankees have moved on. We got some juice with the Giants. Things are really looking up. And then we have the weekend that we have. Total carnage. Total carnage. The Yankees, obviously, because they're in the playoffs, the biggest of these disappointments. You thought you had something with the Giants. They go down to New Orleans. Spencer Rattler, 0-10 as a starting quarterback. 1-10 now as a starting quarterback. And the New York Jets put together one of the more bizarre, bad performances that they have put together since they've, in the last, like, from the Gase to the Bowles to the Herm Edwards to the Rob Saleh to the whatever we've been going through, that was one of the worst performances I have seen. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
I'm doing okay, G. And I was thinking of what word would describe the weekend. You just used a very good one. I would say obliteration. And I would start with the Yankees as they step into a hornet's nest up in Toronto. And it just goes to serve, like, I feel bad for Aaron Judge. I love Aaron Judge. I admire him as a player. I think he's everything that the Yankees want to be as a player, and he had his moment. He had his moment. And
Well, he had his opportunity, and he's failed to have his moment.
Well, I mean, but the moment came, and, you hear John Smoltz talking continually since the game starts to the game ends.
He's still talking
right now. He's the opposite of David Cohn, by the way.
Yeah.
But he was talking about this. This is the chance where now you have to actually pitch to Aaron Judge on Saturday. You have to throw him something because the bases are loaded. And of course, Gossman, gave him a cookie and he missed it. And then he throws him a slider. And if I watch him and Giancarlo Stanton swing at that pitch one more time, I think my head is going to explode. And that was that moment for him, and he needed that moment. And if he would have taken the walk, that would have been great. That would have been fine. I mean, Cody Bellinger wanted to get up there, and of course he wants to get a hit. And what does he do? He works out a walk. And if you think about it, Gossman at that time, I think, had thrown 7 or 8 pitches out of the strike zone. And even Ben Rice is, stop swinging. Just like, hey, stop with the offensive line. Stop swinging at the freaking splitter that's coming in around your ankles.
Yeah.
And poor Ben Rice, he was overmatched at that point as well, too. But I would just say that, those are the times and the moments where your reputation is made, where your clutch gene is shown, and unfortunately for Aaron Judge, who's actually gotten on base a number of times in the offseason, the playoffs here, that was a turning point in this series without question. Because if the Yankees go on to explode that inning, who knows what this is going to look like? And the fact that they would actually have a chance to win a game in which Luis Gil had started, it would have been amazing. And the only other thing I'm going to say about the Yankees, and the Yankee fan can have at it this morning if they want, because they deserve their ability to talk this thing out, is you cannot. I don't care what Aaron Boone says, you cannot put Luke Weber out there again in a high-leverage situation, no matter what you think the analytics say. Or let's be human here now.
Human.
Let's take a look at the human being.
Yeah.
The human being after the game the other night couldn't even get through a sentence to talk to you about how he feels and something's off. So I don't care what the analytics say from last year. I don't care what they say from the beginning of this year when he got it kind of right and then it kind of blew up on him again. You can't. And if you do, and you do it in Yankee Stadium, there is going to be so much stress and so much pressure and so much agita in that stadium that guy is not going to be able to come through for you.
Yeah, let's just hope that there's a situation where maybe they have a lead and that decision has to be made, because this has been a bloodbath from the beginning. And then you're thinking, okay, Game one, it's game one. They're waiting for you. They're ready to go. You had your opportunities. The offense doesn't come through. We're throwing Max Fried out there. Max Fried was amazing in the wild card series. He was amazing in the second half. You sign this guy, and he is supposed to be the dude who stops the bleeding in a situation like this on the road to send this series back 1-1, and he is awful. Absolutely awful. So now your entire season is the offense going to wake up when it never does in the playoffs, or is Carlos Rodon, who is one of the guys you still don't trust in a big situation, going to go out there and pitch a gem and shut down this lineup that is just battered Yankee pitching for the first 2 days? It is a bad situation, and all that the good momentum and the good feeling around this team that was built up and, I mean, has been not just been stopped in the tracks. I mean, they are retreating. I mean, this was a barrage from a team that never gets it done, by the way.
I know that, but thinking about the bottom of the first inning, and Vlad Guerrero just absolutely going yard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, okay, we're locked in, and we've been waiting for this, and we're ambushing this team.
Yeah, it does feel like they're getting it's a get over the hump spot for them. That's what it feels like.
It really does, and it's almost like they've been talking about it. They've been waiting for it. And, this will be interesting to watch tomorrow night to see how the Yankees come out and see whether or not, because it's always about your next day's pitcher, let's face it. And one of the advantages that you have when you do win the division and you get the bye is that you get the pitching matchup in game one, that you hope that pitching matchup is going to lead you to a victory. And for the most part, I mean, Luis Gil gave up 2 home runs. He hasn't really pitched. I mean, they were individual home runs, okay? Not a big deal. You could overcome that. I mean, especially with this lineup that's supposed to be
right. Well, that's the point. 6 to 8 runs a game. You need Luis Gil to go 8 innings of shutout baseball. You needed him to keep him in the game and have the offense show up and match what Toronto was doing. And they couldn't. And they had their opportunities. And it's that same look that you're talking about that is so frustrating to Yankee fans. It's these swings and misses at balls outside of the strike zone that we've been watching them flail at for postseason after postseason after postseason, whether it's been the Red Sox or the Rays or the Astros a million times, and now it's the Toronto Blue Jays.
The only thing I will say is that last week, after they lose the game 1 to the Red Sox, there was that whole thing going around. Since they went to this format, no team has ever come back from losing game 1.
Yeah.
I said, well, you got an opportunity. Do something fantastic. Win 2 elimination games. And they did. I would say the same thing now. You just got embarrassed, you got obliterated, and you just got your asses handed to you. Now come back and do the same thing to them in your building and then get it to a game 5, and then, the chips fall where they may at that point.
Yeah.
But don't go out with a whimper. This is the thing. Don't go out with a whimper. The only thing I will say is that it just seems like, especially the right-handed hitters for the Toronto Blue Jays, are locked in. They are locked in they've been waiting. They've been sitting. They just couldn't wait to get to these games. And it really does reflect in the hitting. It reflects in the fielding, especially in game 1. Everything has gone the right way for the Blue Jays, except when they pulled out Yasevich.
Yeah.
Because they pulled him out after 78 pitches going, we're up 12-0. We don't need him now. Right. We may need him in game 4.
Yasevich in the box.
I'll tell you that he had his Schlittler moment, didn't he?
Oh, my God. Here's one thing that remains is that the Blue Jays haven't gotten it done yet. Yes, they beat them up bad 2 games in their building, but this is a team who has not gotten over the hump. They haven't won a series like this. They get the bye and win the division, which is something that they haven't done either, but they still have to win that elimination game, and that's the hardest one to do. So going into Yankee Stadium with their backs against the wall, that's still going to be tough. Now, if they go out with the confidence that they had in games 1 and 2 and just dispose of the Yankees as if they weren't there, then, we're having a conversation, the same conversation we would have had if they lost the Red Sox series, quite frankly.
I have to say, and I know you probably didn't see it, we were talking a little bit earlier this morning before we got on the air. The last at bat by Stanton last night.
Yeah, I was done at 12-0.
Yeah, I know. But they fought back. To their credit, they fought back. And obviously, when you get into the secondary pitchers of the Toronto Blue Jays that are going to start to hit and things like that.
They're throwing all the balls over the plate at this point. It's like, let's get this over with.
Exactly. So, but the final at bat, there's 2 guys on. Maybe he hits a home run and he makes it 12-10. Who knows? Or whatever it was.
13 at that point, yeah.
Who knows? But he misses one right down the middle, and then 2 sliders completely out of the strike zone. Like he's guessing that, oh, guess what? They're going to throw me another fastball down the middle of the. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah,
they're going to. They know exactly who you are and what you do. And I know he's had his moments, and he's had his great moments for the Yankees in the playoffs. But that at bat at the end of the game yesterday just kind of summed it up. The 2 games. What they meant and what it looked like, and it was just like a give up at bat, and I have no chance to get a hit here, and I'm not even trying to get a hit here.
Yeah, I mean, this is another situation because if they're not eliminated, they can still come back. I would not be shocked if they came back and won this series. But if they,
I would.
No, I wouldn't be shocked. Of course not. I mean, it's the Toronto Blue Jays here. If we were talking about, the Astros in their prime, in their dynasty, I would say, yeah, this is impossible for them to come back. It's the Toronto Blue Jays.
These guys are locked in.
I understand. I wouldn't be. I can't be shocked by anything in sports, for God's sakes. Of all the crap we've watched. I mean, Mark Sanchez is in jail right now for stabbing or whatever, beating up a box truck driver. Nothing surprises me anymore. I have no idea. But if they do get eliminated by the Blue Jays and it's with a whimper, I mean, what are the Yankees? They're a great team. They always make the playoffs. They're always right there, but then they always get beat by a better team. They're never the best team that's failing. They're just not good enough. And it's every year it's somebody else. And it was the Astros for many years, the Red Sox for many years. Now this is going to be the 4th. It was the Rays. Now it's going to be the 4th team that you felt like, and if you want to count the Dodgers in the World Series, the 5th team that's just like whap, 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 get out of here. And 3 of them in their own division. So, I mean, you can't, break up the core because you need to have these guys to have a good team, but there's something missing because there's always another team out there that feels like they're significantly better than the Yankees.
Well, if your number 1 pitcher is going to have an outing like he did yesterday, you're screwed. You're basically screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a chance with Luis Seal because it was 2-0, then it was 2-1, bases loaded, no out, Aaron Judge at the plate. That's the moment. That is it. That's the game-changing situation where they get out of it, no more runs scored, and at the very least, the game should have been tied. At the very least, and instead of the game being tied, it's basically 1 run and 3 outs. Boom, done. And they got Gausman out of they got him, off the mound, and he was pitching great. And according to John Smoltz, it was one of the greatest outings he had ever seen. I'm like, what?
He's turning into like what Gruden was when Gruden was doing Monday Night Football, where everybody was the best player who ever played the game. And I love Gruden, but I mean, every week.
We love Gruden, and I love John Smoltz. I've interviewed him. I love him. He knows more baseball than I'll ever imagine, but
a lot of platitudes. Too many platitudes.
There's a lot, yes.
But which is fine. I mean, it's also we're watching these games and getting frustrated by the performances, and that's when you turn your ire towards the broadcast sometimes. Like, if things are going well, I don't pay attention to a broadcast. When things are going poorly for whatever team that I would like to win, then I start focusing on the broadcast and start losing my mind. But hey, you got a day off today, obviously Tuesday with Rodon, and then you get it to Schlittler. At this point, that's what we're trying to do, right? Get it to Schlittler.
Yes.
You get it to Schlittler, and then you might have a chance for the game 5, and then you got the Blue Jays on their heels. But this is your classic 1-pitch, 1-inning situation because they got to win this game. Then you put Schlittler back out there with the confidence that he has. Although, I mean, I personally love it. I love the social media stuff, and he kept going after the game, so it wasn't just like a champagne thing. He woke up the next day and was still hammering people. But you come out in a game 4, if it gets there, and they smack around Schlitty, then that is a bad look.
It's amazing. We had Lucy Burge on Friday. Next thing you know, that thing is blown up all over the place.
TMZ had it.
Everybody had it all of a sudden. And, good for her because she understands how to create content.
Oh, yeah,
she also
of course,
create attention for herself, and Cam bought into it. So now if we get to a game 4, and they better get to a game 4, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what the stadium – I think the stadium tomorrow night is going to try to rival what they saw up in Toronto because the Toronto fans were unbelievable.
Yeah, like
but you got to give the fans something to cheer for.
I'll give you an example. So when I went to Game 5 of the NLCS last year, the Mets were down 3-1, and you felt like it was just, it was a matter of time that they were going to lose. But the fans still were like, listen, we're home, we got a chance, and let's just go for it. Let's be positive, let's get into it. And, of course, they win that game. They win that game big. So I would, as frustrated as a Yankee fan is, before there's a pitch thrown, they're going to be fired up. They're going to be into it. But the second they get down, if they get down, bang, they're going to be done. They're going to be right out of it.
All I can say is that you got to hope that the Yankees start their game the way that Game 1 started for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Meaning that one of these guys has got to go yard, one of these guys has got to get the fans into it, and then hopefully Carlos Rodon will give you a gem. This is, again, when you think about advantages and disadvantages, there's no Bassett, there's no Scherzer. What do they do after Gossman? What do they do after this Yesavage kid?
Yeah, I mean,
now what?
Well,
you got a Shane Bieber.
Right, you have Bieber pitching, but it's funny we say, now what? I mean, they threw the rookie out there. The guy was unbelievable. So, does it matter when the Yankee offense is in the tank like this? Does it matter who they're throwing up against? I mean, they've never really hit Gossman, traditionally over the years. He's been tough for the Yankees. But, silly me thought that the Yankees would feast against a young pitcher, but that's not what happens these days. These rookies come out. The Yankees have one. The Mets had one in the regular season, and the Blue Jays had one yesterday.
Oh, the Red Sox have one.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, Connolly early in that game until he wasn't. All right, it is Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network. We are live, the traveling Built Ford Tough studio from Glen Oaks Country Club in Old Westbury for the Boomer Esiason Foundation golf outing, these 32nd year. So a lot to come.